Okay, a quick coverage of questions 4 through 6 on your U-Texas. The big issue you want to know about is this is the one time where we're going to start practicing our VF squared equation. But going through the steps, again, this is just like doing any other simple motion problem. You first just look at what you're given, right? So you see the meters per second, you see meters per second squared, and you see meters. So once again, we list our givens off to the side, we do our column. So we'd see 7.9 meters. We see 0.72 meters per second squared. And we see 265 meters. Now, then you go through your units. And once again, as always, when you go through your units, you need to make sure, for meters, you got to keep your options open. But going through here, so you can look at your yellow sheet, you can look at your very important list, wherever you have it, but you'll go through and you say, all right, well, meters, I'm sorry, that's meters per second. So you see meters per second, that's got to be velocity. Which one? Well, it could be initial, it could be final. You do see the word initially, so that's probably the best way to tip you off. But this is the initial velocity. All right, then we see meters per second squared. Oh, well, meters per second squared must be acceleration from your very important list. Meters, remember that could be final position or that could be displacement. So we're going to write that. Okay, either or. Don't, even if it says the word displacement, even if this was displacement here, don't shut yourself off and assume it's displacement, because the other equation might work better. All right, so then you go through your equations. Oh, one more thing is we got to list our given. And again, we count our unknowns as givens also. If I'm looking for velocity, that is a given. Okay, so I'm going to say velocity equals question mark. Which velocity? Well, we already said this one's initial, so this one has to be final. All right, so now we pick our equation. 2 questions asked. 1, do we see time on my list of givens? And I do not see time anywhere in my list of givens. That means the first and third equations cannot be used. And that means the only equation left is VF squared. So now I'm going to write my equation. All right. So I'm going to write out my equation. VF squared is equal to VI squared plus 2AD. All right. Before I can put in my answer, I'm going to have to square root to get VF by itself. So what I suggest is doing that first, doing it ahead of time. Square rooting both sides so that we have the equation exactly the way we want it when we put it in the equation, when we put it in the calculator. So that leaves us with VF is equal to the square root of VI squared plus 2AD. But Mr. Spudik, can we just take VI out? No, we can't. Okay, even though that's square and this is a square root, it's added to this, so you can't just take it out. All right, so now we can plug in our numbers underneath. All right, so now we put it in, my VI was 7.9. Whoa, that's not 7.9. We'll try that anyway. That's a 7.9. Square it plus 2 times our A, which was 0.72, times our D, which is 265. All right. In your calculator, I would put it all in on one line. Do your square root. It'll open up with parentheses. Do your 7.9. Square it plus your 2 times your A times your D, all in one line in your calculator, and there's less of a chance of having a mix-up as you go through. All right, now that'll get you your answer. Now, when you go to the next problem for 5 and then for 6, notice what you're changing. You are changing displacement. Okay, I'm noticing a lot of students that are seeing meters, but they're putting it in where A goes instead of where D goes. So be careful with that and make sure you substitute it in. Now, something I can't really show you in the video, but on your calculator, if you have a high like TI 80 something, you can hit second enter and it will bring this screen back up and you can change out your D. All right, so that would save your time. But again, be careful to put your new number in where it goes. That's going to be displacement, so put it there. All righty, that's it for these three.